I love forensic science, I love crime shows. I also love Amy Adams and Emily Blunt. So when I found out the synopsis for Sunshine Cleaning, I leapt at it. And I am so pleased to say that I fell so in love with it so quickly, and it completely delivered everything I was hoping for. So I'm not going to go into any spoilers, but I will go a little bit into what it's actually about. So this was released in 2008 and directed by Christine Jeffs and written by Megan Holley. I would say that it's underrated. That's not to say that nobody has heard of it or nobody ever mentions it, but for me, I feel like it's really high up there as a fantastic film. Maybe I'm biased because it plays to all of the things I love. It has won a couple of awards. It won the WFCC award for the Best Woman Storyteller at the Woman Film Critics Circle. And it also won the Outstanding Achievement in Casting for their low-budget feature at the Casting Society of America Awards. The description, if you're unfamiliar with the film, is as follows from IMDb. In order to raise the tuition to send her young son to private school, a mom starts an unusual business, biohazard removal crime scene cleanup service, with her unreliable sister. Obviously, Rose and Norah are sisters here, Amy Adams and Emily Blunt, respectively. And straight away, biohazard removal crime scene cleanup service. If I were to start a business and had any skills in cleaning, that's it. That's what I would do. I love that concept. It's very unique for a film. It's a very grimy concept, but maintains quite a lot of comedy. It is very funny. For me, the most part, for the highlight, I'm getting so excited. The highlight is seeing them going into these crime scenes and not knowing where they're going to be next. There's things like cleaning up after somebody has died. Somebody has been shot in the shower and they have to clean up the blood. We do get to see it. It's not overly graphic, but it's graphic enough that it's really exciting, and I love that aspect. And I never realised quite how strict a lot of the legislation was behind biohazard cleanup, certainly in America. And it's really fascinating and quite educational, and I love it. Obviously, the relationship between Rose and Norah brings it to a new level because they're quite different people, but when they're together, it's both lovely and chaotic. And that does, at one point, have quite a detrimental effect on this business, which is funny but emotional. It's a weird moment in the film. I love it. Obviously, for me, my favourite thing, the driving force, is the premise. I think the development of the narrative is great. The pacing's lovely. The number of crime scenes and biohazard scenes we have is pretty comforting. It's not just one or two, but it's not 1,000 that it loses meaning. I think there's enough that it feels believable. It's not just like this business goes from 0 to 100 in terms of success, but it works really well, and I'm really happy with it. The characters I liked. Rose is my favourite, but Nora's pretty brilliant as well. Zahn's in it. There's a pretty good cast in this. Definitely check it out on IMDb if you're not familiar with the film. For me, it ticked every single box that I was looking for. It's funny, it's got just a little bit of emotion to make it more meaningful. The premise, the crime scene cleanup, it's something on my wish list for a comedy that I didn't know I had until I watched this. And I thought it was brilliant. Very effectively done. The soundtrack, I can't really remember, so I can't really comment on it. The settings, the scenery, just the mise-en-scène in general, absolutely lovely, very visually appealing. As the name suggests, Sunshine Cleaning, we do obviously get a lot of yellows. It's very brightly coloured, not what you expect for something that deals with a lot of crime scenes. And I think the fact that it shouldn't work as a comedy, but it does, makes it all the better. Obviously, Blunt and Adams, fantastic performances. Loved seeing them on screen together. That, coupled with the amazing narrative, makes this one of the best films I've ever seen. Easily one of my favourite films from 2008. Sunshine Cleaning, for me, is flawless. If you haven't seen it, please do. It's incredible.